जय जय विघ्न विनाशका जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका जय 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 गणनायक जय जय विघ्न विनाशका जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका जय 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 गणनायका जय विनाशका जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका गजवदना गौरी नंदन 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 गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशा जय 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 गणनायका जय विघ्न विनाशका शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका गजवदना गौरी नंदन 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 गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन गंगाधर शिव शंभो नंदन जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी।
जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
हंसवाहिनी परमासन माता,
हंसवाहिनी परमासन माता,
हंसवाहिनी परमासन माता।
हंसवाहिनी परमासन माता,
दीन पुस्तक धारिणी, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी। जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
तू ही दुर्गा, तू ही काली,
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 तू ही माता पार्वती,
तू ही माता पार्वती।
सकल जगत के पालन करनी,
सकल जगत के पालन करनी,
विद्या बुद्धि दायिनी, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी। जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश शेष सब,
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश शेष सब,
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश शेष सब।
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश शेष सब,
तेरे ही गुणगान करे,
तेरे ही गुणगान करे।
हम सबका कल्याण करो माँ।
हम सबका कल्याण करो माँ।
विद्या बुद्धि दायिनी, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी। जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
जय 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 माता सरस्वती, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी।
जय हरे कृष्णा गोवर्धन गिरिधारी।
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 राधा मोहन राधा जीवन,
राधा मोहन राधा जीवन।
राधा मोहन राधा जीवन।
राधा मोहन राधा जीवन।
मंजुल कुंज बिहारी,
मंजुल कुंज बिहारी।
बोलो मंजुल कुंज बिहारी।
मंजुल कुंज बिहारी।
जय हरे कृष्णा गोवर्धन गिरिधारी।
जय हरे कृष्णा गोवर्धन गिरिधारी।
राधा मोहा जीवन,
राधा मोहन राधा जीवन।
राधा मोह जीवन जीवन।
राधा मोहन राधा जीवन।
मंजुल कुंज बिहारी,
मंजुल कुंज बिहारी।
बोलो मंजुल कुंज बिहारी।
बोलो मंजुल कुंज बिहारी।
जय हरे कृष्णा गोवर्धन गिरिधारी।
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 गोवर्धन गिरिधारी।
गोवर्धन गिरिधारी।
गोवर्धन गिरिधारी। गोवर्धन गिरिधारी।
गजानन हे शुभानना, गौरी मनोहर प्रिय नंदना, गौरी मनोनंदना। गजानना हे शुभानना,
गजानना हे शुभानना।
गौरी मनोहर प्रिय नंदना,
गौरी मनोहर प्रिय नंदना।
पशुपति नंदन गजानना,
पशुपति नंदन गजानना।
परम निरंजन शुभानना,
परम निरंजन शुभानना।
गजानना हे शुभानना,
गजानना हे शुभानना। पशुपति नंदन गजानना
परम निरंजन शुभानना
परम निरंजन शुभानना
गजानना हे शुभानना
गजानना हे शुभानना
गौरी मनोहर प्रिय नंदना
गौरी मनोहर प्रिय नंदना
पशुपति नंदन गजानना
पशुपति नंदन गजानना
परम निरंजन शुभानना
परम निरंजन शुभानना
गजानना हे शुभानना
गजानना हे शुभानना
गौरी मनोहर प्रिय नंदना
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 बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय. बोलिए श्री सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की जय. Jai Jai Sitaram. Cordial welcome to all who are present in person today and all who are joining us online after few weeks that we did not stream, and today we are sort of able to stream. So we'll see how the voice holds up during this session and of course moving forward. We do appreciate all of you joining with us this morning as we engage in devotion. This morning we perform Surya Narayana Swami Pujan. Of course, we should praises to Surya Narayana Swami as we should each and every day. Brahm Gayatri Mantra Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yonaha Prachodayat. This is a prayer that each and every one of us, we should recite each and every day, paying that obeisance, prostrations to Surya Narayana Swami. Very simple words. We offer these praises to Surya Narayana Bhagwan. Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate
Suryaya Namah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah.
Suryaya Namah. Bhaskaraya Namah.
Suryaya Namah. Bhaskaraya Namah.
Suryaya Namah. Adityaya Namah.
Suryaya Namah. Adityaya Namah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya 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 Namah.
मित्राय नमः
सूर्याय नमः मित्राय नमः
सूर्याय नमः मित्राय नमः
सूर्याय नमः मित्राय नमः
नमो भगवत्याय नमः
ॐ नमो भगवते सूर्याय नमः
ॐ नमो भगवते सूर्याय नमः
ॐ नमो भगवते सूर्याय नमः
बोलिए श्री सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की जय. This morning, devotees, as we prepare ourselves to receive divine knowledge from the pages of Sri Ramcharitamas, I ask that we clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads as we engage these shlokas, inviting and invoking the presence, the blessings of Madhyara Purushottam Prabhu Sri Ram into our lives, into our minds, our intellects, as we prepare ourselves to receive. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Guru Charan Kamal Bhyo Namaha. Om Ramaya Ram Bhadraya Ramchandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namah. नीलाम्भुज श्यामल कोमलांगं सीता समारोपित वाम भागं पानव महासायक चारु चापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्. हे राम पुरुषोत्तम नरहरि नारायण केशवा गोविंदा गरुड़ध्वज गुणनिधि दामोदर माधवा. हे कृष्णा कमलापते यदुपते सीतापते श्रीपते वैकुंठ आदिपते लक्ष्मीपते पाहि मम. आदौ राम तपोवनादिगमनम् हत्वा मृगं काञ्चनं वैदेहि हरणं हरणं सुग्रीव सम्भाषणं बाले निग्रहणं समुद्र लङ्कापुरे दाहनं पश्चात् रावण कुम्भक एताधि रामायणम्. जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. भज मन मेरे आठो या श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. Remind our minds this morning. Be reciting that name of Madhyara Purushottam Prabhu Shri Ram. भज मन मेरे आठो या श्री राम जय जय राम. भज मन मेरे
आतोया श्री राम जय जय राम.
भज मन मेरे आखोया श्री राम जय जय राम
भज मन मेरे आतोया श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
भज मन मेरे आखोया श्री राम जय जय राम
भज मन मेरे आतोया श्री राम जय राम
भज मन मेरे आखोया श्री राम जय जय राम
भज मन मेरे आतोया श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
बोलो श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम
पतित पावन सीताराम
पतित पावन सीताराम
बोलो श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
बोलो श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
भज मन मेरे आखोया श्री राम जय राम
भज मन मेरे आतोया श्री राम जय राम
बोली श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की fits into our lives. But it's for us to analyze in our own selves, within ourselves, and see how much time or how many times in our day are we inspired or do we remember to chant Bhagwan's name. For us to ask ourselves that question. Because invariably what happens, we start our day, maybe when we wake up we say a prayer. We offer some obeisance to Lord Ganesh, Surya Narayan Swami, etc. And then we get involved in our daily mundane activities. And once we get involved, how much do we remember after? Whilst we're doing our duties, whilst we engage in the material activities, how much do we remember to think of Bhagwan, to chant Bhagwan's name, sometimes we chant internally, quietly in our minds, mansik chanting, right? If we on a bus or in the subway or train, you don't want to, people might think you're a little off in the head, right? We start chanting Jai Ram, Shri Ram loudly in the train, right? So we understand the situations and we do accordingly. But how much are we inspired during our day? And if we are not inspired, then we ask ourselves, what changes can I make? What changes can I make so that I am inspired? So that I become inspired to remember Bhagwan during my day, to remember God during my day. And very simply, devotees, we ask ourselves, in our daily activities, what are we doing? So we may be in our kitchen preparing some meals. So what is there in the kitchen? We have something to play music in the kitchen? Yes? Some people have a TV they can watch while they're cooking. So what music do we play while we're cooking? We play something relating to Bhagavan, then there's a better chance we'll remember him, isn't it? If we play something else, then better chance we remember something else. Right? If we watch some movie or show relating to Bhagavan, then better chance we'll remember about God. But then we watch something else, then we will cement those things, those ideas, those thoughts into our brains, into ourselves. We make them stronger. Whatever environment, I tell my children all the time this, that you are a product of your environment. So whatever environment you put yourself in, this is how you become. Unless you are super strong and you're able to pull the entire environment, if it happens to be negative, in a positive way. But those who have that type of strength, very few and far between. So we always have to be careful of the environment that we place ourselves in. Right? And one of the big things that we subject ourselves to on a daily basis is music. Right? You see the children today, all of them have earbuds or headphones, always listening to something. Don't know what they're listening to, right? Because they're listening on headphones. But whatever we allow to go in here, devotees, this is one of the pathways to our minds, direct pathways to our minds, the ears. Whatever we allow to go in here has significant influence on ourselves. So we have to analyze carefully what we allow. Not only music, discussions, conversations that we have goes in here. What are we allowing? I say we will not willingly take something that is poison and put it in our bodies. We will not willingly do that. Ingest it. But if we listen to things that are toxic, things that are poisonous, things that will destroy us, then this is exactly what we are doing. We are destroying our own peace of mind by subjecting ourselves to these things. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful and try to surround ourselves with as many things that will remind us of Bhagavan as possible. So this is why on the walls of our home, we place a picture of Lord Ganesh, a picture of Lord Shiva, a picture of Lakshmi Mata, a picture of Shri Krishna. So whichever wall we look upon, it gives us a reminder. Gives us a reminder of Bhagwan. Bhagwan is there. Lakshmi Mata is there. And it creates an impression in our brain. Creates an impression on ourselves, devotees. When We chant that name of Bhagwan, devotees. We chant that name according to this bhajan. Ram, Ram, Ram. Ram, Ram, Ram. Ram, Ram, Ram. Shri Ram, Ram, Ram. With a lot of love, a lot of devotion in our minds, we chant that name of Maryada Purushottam. प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम 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 श्री राम 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 प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो
राम राम राम
Everyone let us chant together.
राम 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 श्री राम राम राम
प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम 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 श्री राम 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 श्री राम राम राम
प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम 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 श्री राम राम राम
पाप कते दुख मिते लेत राम नाम
पाप कथे दुख मिटे लेत राम नाम
भव समुद्र सुखद नाम एक राम नाम
भव समुद्र सुकर नाम एक राम नाम
राम 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 श्री राम राम राम
राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम श्री राम राम राम
परम शांति सुख निधान दिव्य राम नाम
परम शांति सुख निधान दिव्य राम नाम
निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम
निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम
राम 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 श्री राम राम राम
राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम श्री राम राम राम
परम गोप्य परम इष्ट मंत्र राम नाम
परम गोप्य परम इष्ट मंत्र राम नाम
संत हृदय सदा बसत एक राम नाम
संत हृदय सदा बसत एक राम नाम
राम 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 श्री राम राम राम
राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम श्री राम
those who are seated here at the mandir, and if those at home, if you're able to close your eyes at this time, please close your eyes and try to focus upon that divine form of Prabhu Shri Ram. Try to internalize that form in your mind and in your hearts as we reach out to that Lord this morning. Very humbly, very beautifully, with a great amount of devotion in our hearts, we chant that name of Bhagavan. Ram, 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 Shri Ram, Ram, Ram. Holy Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Devotees, we are always reminded in our lives, that there is a material aspect of life which is important, that we must look after this material aspect of life because, we need a house, right? We need somewhere to stay. Because if we don't have somewhere to stay, last 2 days we'd have freeze. Right? Very cold last few days. So you need that place to stay. So, we need to look after this aspect of ourselves. Look after having a home, some clothes, some food, etc. Right? But then, is that all? Do we go overboard with that? Do we go overboard in looking after the material self? And think, I have this size of house, but I want this size of house. And I want this and that and the other thing. And then we start to go overboard, start to work overtime to accomplish those things. But the mind says it wants. And then we forget. We forget the spiritual aspect. The spiritual aspect of life. We must have a balance. We must have that balance. We must strike that balance in life where we look after the material aspect and the spiritual aspect. We must look after our material bank account, must have some money. We must look after the spiritual bank account. Just as we would like to see our material bank account flourish and do well, we must also look forward to our spiritual bank account flourishing and doing well. We should make regular deposits to that spiritual bank account. Regular deposit mean what to do? Engage in some type of devotion. Regularly engage in some type of devotion. So last time we read out of Sri Ramcharitamanas. So those of you that we didn't stream for a few weeks, we did not have any katha during that time. We just did our little puja, we did arti, couple of bhajans and so on. So the last time we read out of Sri Ramcharitamanas, Kakbhusundaji, as we understood, he was undergoing this experience inside the stomach of the Lord. And when he was able to come out, his mind was very confused as to what he saw inside the stomach of the Lord to what he's seeing outside. This little baby playing. And inside he saw all these wonderful phenomena, all these different creations, etc. And devotees, when the Lord saw Kakbhusundaji so distraught, so confused, that Lord devotees, who is so merciful to those who are humble, he placed his hand upon the head of Kakbusundaji. He placed his hand upon his head and he relieved him of all his sorrows, of all that confusion, all that moha that he was experiencing at that time. Devotees, it is this simple for us to be relieved of moha, of confusion, of difficulties. To engage in devotion, to allow the Lord to place his hands upon our heads. And we'll be relieved of all. Do we have faith in this? Do we believe in this? Yes, devotees, we should. We should. I always say that we place blind faith in so many directions, so many different people in the world today. Right? Isn't it so? We place blind faith in so many people and things in this world. But when it comes to Bhagwan, it's hard now. It's hard for us to do this. Becomes difficult. So many doubts, so many questions. How he could have seen all them things inside Bhagwan belly? How he could have seen all these things inside Bhagwan's stomach? And then again, these contradictions. Then we start to wonder, is it true? Is it true? We start to have doubt. But Vishwas, Shraddha, these two words mean faith. To have faith in what we learn. Faith in our scriptures, faith in our God, faith in our Bhagwan. Because devotees, through this faith, we become free. First, we must have faith. I always say this to devotees when we perform puja. 3 things are necessary: faith, love, devotion. This must come from here, from the devotee. If the faith is not present, that what I'm doing is very beneficial to me, is very important to me. If we don't have that faith, then we will not have the love and devotion. It will not come. First, the faith must be there. So here it is, devotees, that Prabhu Sri Ram placed his hands upon the head of Kakbusundaji and he relieved him of his sorrow. And devotees, what happened further? Let us hear in this Chaupai. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Bolo
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Kinha Ram Mohi Bigat Bimoha Sevak Sudhad Kripa Sandoha. Bolo Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram
Jai Jai Rama.
प्रभुता प्रथम बिचारी बिचारी श्री राम जय राम
जय रामा।
मन मह होई हर्ष अति भारी। बोलो श्री राम जय राम
जय जय रामा।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय रामा।
श्री राम जय जय रामा।
रघुपति राघव राजा रामा। रघुपति राघव राजा रामा।
रघुपति राघव राजा रामा। रघुपति पति राघव राजा राम
किन्ह राम मोहि बिगत बिमोहा सेवक सुकध kripa sandoha. Devotees, that very merciful Sri Ram, who brings a lot of sukh, a lot of happiness to his devotees, to his sevak. Who is a sevak? What does the word seva means? Service. So sevak is one who serves Bhagwan. That one who serves Bhagwan. And we have discussed this on many occasions. How can we serve Bhagwan? Only to offer flower to him? Only to perform his arti? Only to offer fruit to him? How can we serve Bhagwan? Does Bhagwan want our fruit? Does Bhagwan need our fruit? No. Does he need our flowers? No. But we offer this on to him in an effort to please him. But how do we serve Bhagwan, devotees? In our day-to-day activities. In each and every of our activities, we should feel that this is for you, God. My Lord, this is for you. I'm reading this scripture, this Ramayana, because of you, Prabhu. This is an offering at your lotus feet. I'm offering it to devotees who are listening because of you. Because they are your children, and if they get some information from this that helps them, then in this way I am serving you. This is how we must think. Right? We come and we clean the mandir. We don't come to clean the mandir to say, when Karishma comes, she's going to say, wow, what a great job. No, we clean the mandir because, Bhagwan, I am serving you through this activity. You understand, devotees? Everything that we do in our lives, we can make it as a seva, as a service unto Bhagwan. Then we become sevak. Then we become true sevak, true servants of Bhagwan. And these sevak devotees, they gain a lot of happiness through the grace and mercy of the Lord. He says, Keen haram mohi bigata bimoha, that Lord dispelled this deep-rooted moha, this deep-rooted illusion that was there in my mind. He removed that illusion, devotees. It's a very beautiful bhajan that tells us, it relates to us devotees, this life that we live. How do we live this life? What you say, Kesan? What did he say? Keep healthy. That's very good. Yes, we should keep healthy. We should keep our bodies healthy, and we should keep our minds healthy. Right? Because in this world, there's a constant struggle. It's a constant struggle to keep that mind in a positive way. Isn't it? That mind always seems to slide into a negative thinking, negative thoughts, isn't it? Do we experience this? No matter how much we fight with that mind and tell that mind, hey, you need to think positive. You need to think better to be better than this. We try to tell our minds, but the mind still wants to go negative. Go negative. So this bhajan tells us, Kesan was very right. He says we have to live healthy. We have to have healthy thoughts, positive thoughts in our life. He manware manwa जीवन है संग्राम. Bhajan says, devotees, hey manware, that oh mind, जीवन है संग्राम. That this life is indeed a great battle that we are fighting. Hey manware manwa जीवन है संग्राम. हे मनवारे मनवा
जीवन है संग्राम.
How do we win this battle, devotees? Bhajan tells us, Bhajle Ram Ram Ram, Bhajle Ram Ram Ram, Bhajle Ram Ram Ram,
भजले राम राम राम.
हे मनवारे मनवा जीवन है संग्राम. हे मनवारे मनवा
जीवन है संग्राम.
लोक यही पर लोक यही है, यही धरा और व्योम, यही धरा और व्योम, यही पुरातन नारायण है, यही सनातन ओम, यही सनातन ओम. इससे बड़ा नहीं कोई काम, इससे बड़ा नहीं
कोई काम.
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम,
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम.
हे मनवारे मनवा जीवन है संग्राम. हे मनवारे मनवा
जीवन है संग्राम.
इसके करतब अजब अनोखे, गजब है इसके खेल, गजब है इसके खेल. सूर्य चंद्र के दीप जलाता, बिन बाते बिनते, बिन बाते
बिनते.
यही सवारे सारे काम, यही सवारे
तारे नाम.
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम,
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम.
हे मनवारे मनवा जीवन है संग्राम. हे मनवारे मनवा
जीवन है संग्राम.
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम,
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम.
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम,
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम.
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम,
भजले राम राम राम, भजले राम राम राम.
हे मनवारे मनवा जीवन है संग्राम. बोली श्री राजा रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. The word sangram with devotees means a battle. Battle. So always remember that life, we are fighting a battle every day. Every day. And, when we fight a battle, we have to have resources on our side to help us to fight, isn't it? We stand up by ourselves. Says the war of Kurukshetra, right? The war of Kurukshetra is based on Pandavas against Kauravas, right? Pandavas were how many in number? How many of them? How many brothers? Divesh? 5, yes. So 5 brothers. Kauravas were how many brothers in number? 100. Who was standing on the right side? Not literally right side, the side of Dharma. Pandavas were standing on the side of Dharma, and Kauravas were standing on the side of Adharma, of unrighteousness. So what do we learn here? What do we learn here? Right? That the qualities of negativity far outnumber the good ones. But the Pandavas had the resource of Shri Krishna. The resource of Shri Krishna. As such, they became victorious in this battle. So even if we feel that, we are not winning this battle of positive thoughts against negative thoughts, we are more unhappy than we are happy, the resource that we need to find is Bhagwan. We need to find that God in our lives. That Lord is the source of all, what we say, Anand, of all bliss, of all sukh, of all happiness. And when we find that Lord, devotees, then we are fortified, we are strengthened to fight anything that is out there, anything that we have to face. We're able to fight it. And we are able to overcome. And devotees, Kakbusundaji was relieved of this deep-rooted delusion. Prabhuta prathama bichari bichari. And devotees, as his mind cleared, and he was able to think of the glories of Bhagwan. His mind cleared and he was able to think of the glories of Bhagwan. Again, devotees, very wonderful teaching. His mind cleared. Each and every one of us, we know that we should be thinking of Bhagwan, right? But again, so many other thoughts come in place. Sometimes we sit in front of our altar, sometimes we sit in front of our bedi, and we're doing puja. We should be thinking of Bhagwan, but so many other thoughts come. So many other things come and occupy our minds at that time. So we have to work to clear that mind. To clear that mind. And as his mind cleared, devotees, he was able to focus upon the glory and the greatness of Bhagwan. Think about the greatness of Bhagwan, devotees. Man mahahui harasha ati bhari. And devotees, in his mind arose a great amount of delight, a great amount of happiness, a great amount of enjoyment in the remembrance of the glories of Bhagwan. Boli Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Devotees, we'll do one more chaupai and then we'll close our katha, we'll perform havan and then we'll do arti. We all sing together. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
भगत बचलता प्रभु कै देखे उपजे मम ओर प्रीति विशेषी
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama
सजल नयन पुलकित कर जोरी कीन्ही हो बहु विधि विनय बहोरी श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 जय जय राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम. Kagbusund ji in this way, devotees. Bhagat bachalata prabhu kai dekhi upaji mam ur priti biseshi. Devotees, beholding and seeing this loving attitude of the Lord towards his devotees, towards Kagbusund ji in particular in this instance, devotees. What happened, devotees? His heart became welled up. His heart became filled with devotion and love for the feet of Bhagwan. Devotees, we have to remember each and every day the blessings of Bhagwan is with us. The blessings of God is with us. The first thing we should remember, our eyes open this morning. Thank you, Bhagwan. Thank you, Bhagwan, for waking me up this morning. Thank you, Bhagwan, for waking me up this morning. There are many who didn't wake up. There are many who didn't wake up this morning. So first thing we should thank Bhagwan for that blessing. So when we realize how kind, how gracious, how merciful Bhagwan is to us. But what happens, devotees? Again, the mind always goes in a negative way. The mind only focuses on what is going wrong, not what is going right. As such, we are always mired in depression, in sadness. If we can only turn around that thinking, if we can only turn around that way of thinking to see what is happening in my life that is good, what is happening in my life that is right, and start from that point, devotees, because now you are starting from a point of strength instead of focusing all what is wrong. Now you're starting from a position of weakness. So when more is added on to that, how can you fight? How can you win? How can you overcome? Here, Kagbusund ji, his mind is cleared. And he is thinking of all the blessings and the kindness of Bhagwan. And devotees, his heart filled with love and devotion for Bhagwan. Sajala nayan pulakit kar jori. Devotees, he started to shiver with this love. His body began to vibrate with this love that he was feeling for Bhagwan. And devotees, his eyes were streaming tears with that devotion that he was feeling at that time. Keen hi hu bahu bidhi binaya bahori. And then he folded his hands like this. He folded his hands like this, devotees, and he started to speak to Bhagwan. He started to speak to Bhagwan. But before he spoke to Bhagwan, he chanted the praises of Madhyada Purushottam. Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
While we chant this beautiful kirtan, devotees, let us reflect upon all the blessings, all the good things that are present in our lives at this time. And we invite that blessing of the Lord to be with us at all times. And may we remember that presence of the Lord to be with us, that is with us at all times, as we chant this beautiful praise unto Him. Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama,
Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama,
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama,
Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama,
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram,
Jai Jai Rama,
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama,
Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama,
Jai Jai Rama, Jai Shri Rama, Sita Rama, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama,
Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Holy Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Devotees, we should always try to get ourselves lost in the recollection or in the chanting of the praises of Bhagwan. Get ourselves lost in it to the exclusion of everything else, that our mind becomes one pointed focus at the feet of the Lord. Devotees, Kagbhu Sundarji, he chanted the praises of Maryada Purushottam. His hands folded like this, and then he rendered a petition, a prayer at the feet of Bhagwan. He started to speak to Bhagwan, and what Kagbhu Sundarji said we will hear in our next Sunday's discourse. Boli Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. So now we'll engage in mantra jap havan together. So those who are here at the mandir, those who are home, please recite Swaha along with us as we make these offerings. Let's pass the water around the fire first. Om Mandakinyastu Yadavari Sarva Papa Haram Shubham Taridam Kalapitam Devam सम्यग् आचमन्यत्वं त्वयैति आचमन्यं समर्पयामि। ॐ श्री गणेश देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ॐ गङ्गणपतये नमः स्वाहा। ॐ गङ्गणपतये नमः स्वाहा। श्री गौरी माताये नमः स्वाहा। श्री शंकर भगवानभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री अग्निदेवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री कलश देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री वरुण देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री महालक्ष्मी माताये नमः स्वाहा। श्री महाविष्णु भगवानभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ओम नमो नारायणायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री सूर्य देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री चंद्र देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री मंगल देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री बुद्ध देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री बृहस्पति देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री शुक्र देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री शनि देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री राहु देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री केतु देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री प्राणायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री अपानायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री समानायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री इंद्रियायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री उदानिकायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री इष्ट देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री कुल देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री स्थान देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री ग्राम देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री माता पिता चरण कमलेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री पंचपाल देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री 10 दिक्पाल देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री आदि शक्ति दुर्गा माताये नमः स्वाहा। श्री अरुंधति देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री भद्रकाली देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री रुद्राणी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री ब्रह्माणी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री परमेश्वरी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री अंबिके देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री चंडिके देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। ओम ऐं सरस्वती माताये नमः स्वाहा। श्री रामचंद्र भगवानभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री कृष्ण भगवानभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। श्री हनुमते देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा. Those who know the Surya Gayatri, we please chant it together 3 times. Om Bhaskaraaya Vidmahe Divakaraaya Dhimahe Tanna Surya Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhaskaraaya Vidmahe Divakaraaya Dhimahe Tanna Surya Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhaskaraaya Vidmahe Divakaraaya Dhimahe Tanna Surya Prachodayat Swaha. Calculate for about 10 more offerings. So we all join together as we chant the Brahm Gayatri mantra 3 times. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tat Savetur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tat Savetur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tat Savetur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Mahamrityunjay mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दनाम् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् स्वाहा ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दनाम् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् स्वाहा ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दनाम् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा. One more offering. ॐ श्री सर्वदेवता देव्योभ्यो नमः स्वाहा. You can clean up your hands now. We prepare for final offering. So let us all stand, devotees, as we take part in the final offering. When I say swaha, touch it by your heads, then place it into the havan. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Boli Shri Surya Narayana Swami ki Jai. Pass the water around the fire 3 times. Om Sarva Papa Haram Devam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanyam Chamaya Dattam Grihan Parameshwara. So this time, devotees, we'll have a final arti. We all engage in arti. So the extra thalis prepared. Those who would like to perform arti, please feel free to go and to perform arti as well. Those who are at home and would like to perform arti at home can go to your altar and perform the arti there. Om Sajang Chavarti Sanyuktam Vahnina Yojitam Maya Deepam Grihan Devesh Trailokyam Timirapaham Arati Shri Ramayan Ji Ki Kirati Kalita Lalita Siyapi Ki Arati Shri Ramayan Ji Ki
Kirati Kalita Lalita Siyapi Ki
Arati Shri Ramayan Ji Ki
Arati Shri Ramayan Ji Ki
Kalita Lalita Siyapi Ki Arati Shri Ramayan Ji Ki
Kirati Kalita Lalita Siyapi Ki
Pat Brahmadika Muni Narad Valmiki Vigyana Visharad Shuk Sanatadi Shesh Aur Sharad Shuk Sanatadi Shesh Aur Sharad Barni Pavan Sut Kirati Reki Arati Shri Ramayan Ji Ki Kirati Kalita Lalita Siyapi Ki
Arati Shri Ramayan Ji Ki Kirati Kalita Lalita Siyapi Ki
Gavat वेद पुराण अष्टदश गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश चाहु शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस मुनि जन धन संतन को सरबस सार अंश सम्मत सब ही के आरती श्री रामायण जी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीरति कलित ललित
सिय की
गावत संतत शंभु भवानी और भत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि बर जब खानी व्यास आदि कवि
बर जब खानी
काग भुसुंदे गरुड़ के आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सिय की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सिय की
कलिमल हरनि विषय रस फीके सुभग श्रृंगार मुक्ति जुवती की दलन रोग भव मूरी अमी की दलन रोग भव
मूरी अमी की
तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीरति कलित ललित सिय की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सिय की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सिय की
कीरति कलित ललित सिय की कीरति कलित ललित सिय की रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे रघुनंदन
राघव राम हरे
रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे
रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे
सीता राम हरे श्री राम हरे सीता
राम हरे श्री राम हरे
रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे
रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे
गिरिजापति ईश्वर राम हरे
गिरिजापति ईश्वर राम हरे
गिरिजापति ईश्वर राम हरे
गिरिजापति ईश्वर राम हरे
जय राजीव लोचन राम हरे जय राजीव लोचन
राम हरे
जय राजीव लोचन राम हरे
जय राजीव लोचन राम हरे
सीता राम हरे श्री राम हरे श्री राम हरे सीता
राम हरे श्री राम हरे
सीताराम हरे श्री राम हरे सीताराम
हरे श्री राम हरे
सीताराम हरे श्री राम हरे
सीताराम हरे श्री राम हरे
सीताराम हरे श्री राम हरे
सीताराम हरे श्री राम हरे
सीताराम हरे श्री राम हरे
सीताराम हरे श्री राम हरे
सीताराम हरे श्री राम हरे
सीताराम हरे श्री राम हरे
जय राम 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 हरे श्री राम हरे
जय राजीवलोचन राम हरे
जय राजीव लोचन राम हरे
सीता राम हरे श्री राम हरे सीता
राम हरे श्री राम हरे
रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे। बोली श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। So at this time, please take a flower in your hand. We all clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads as we engage in our final pratna to end today's devotion, humbly asking grace and blessings of Bhagwan to be upon our principal devotee, her entire family, and all who have joined with us in person and online today as we have engaged very wonderfully and beautifully in our devotion. Hari Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janadanam Yata Pujitam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tarastu Me Om Vahanam Najanami Visarjanam Pujam Chaiva Najanami Shamyatam Parameshwaram Tvameva Mata Shapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Shasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Asato Ma Sadagamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Mritam Gamaya He Sarva Shaktiman Sachiranand Nirakar Nirvikar Sarvadhar Sarveshwar Sarva Vyapak Antaryami Ajar Amar Nitya Pavitra Shrishti Karta ko बारंबार नमस्कार है। हे परमात्मा, भविष्य वर्तमान दुखियों का कष्ट हरण करके सुबुद्धि को प्रकाश करके जिससे सबका मंगल होए। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। We all join together very beautifully as we chant praises of Bhagwan as we conclude this morning's devotion. Hare Rama Rama Ram Sita Ram 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 Hare
Rama Rama Ram Sita Ram Ram Ram
Hare Rama Rama Ram Sita Ram Ram Ram
Hare Rama Rama Ram Sita Ram Ram Ram
Hare Rama Rama Ram Sita Ram Ram Ram
Hare Rama Rama Ram Sita Ram
Sitaram Ram Ram.
Hare Rama Rama Ram Sita Rama Rama Ram.
Hare Rama Rama Ram Sitaram Ram Ram.
Hare Rama Rama Ram Sita Rama Rama 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 Ram.
Sita Rama Rama Ram.
Sita
Rama Rama Ram. बोली श्री राजा रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय, और ऐसा जगन्नाथ की जय। बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय, सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। जय जय सीताराम। आसन लीजिए, प्लीज हैव योर सीट्स। So during the last couple of weeks where we didn't have streaming, we had a few birthdays that occurred. And of course, if I'm missing any, please do accept our apologies and excuse us, because you know the memory is fickle, right? So we had Kayla, Rihanna, Felix, and Anish Maharaj, who were in towards the end of January, middle to end of January. And yesterday we had Anaya Dindyal, who celebrated her birthday. So, you know, belated birthday wishes and blessings to all devotees who have celebrated a birthday or some other special occasion in your lives. We wish that Bhagwan bless you with many, many more wonderful occasions to celebrate in a wonderful way in your lives, as we heard this morning, in engaging ourselves in remembrance of the Lord as much as we can. So devotees, please do be reminded that Thursday, February 9th is Shri Ganeshji Chaturthi. So we'll be having puja here at the mandir. Streaming will start maybe around 7:30 p.m. And for those who would like to join in the Lord Ganeshji worship, of course, opportunity will be given to make offerings along with us to Lord Ganesh and engage in Havan to Lord Ganesh and listen to a little bit of praises of Lord Ganesh. So on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. For Lord Ganeshji puja. Puja here at the mandir will start a little bit earlier, but streaming will start around 7:30 p.m. Okay. And do not forget that Saturday, February 18th is a wonderful day in our calendar. What that day is? Mahashivratri. Mahashivratri. So every month has two Shivratri. You know that? Every month. Falls on the Triyodashi day or the 13th day of the Paksha, or that 15-day cycle, lunar cycle. So it's called Pradosh. So this is monthly or Masik Shivratri. Mahashivratri, one time for the year. And that is on Saturday. And it's falling nicely for us. Family Day weekend here in Ontario. So we are planning to start first Prahar at 9 p.m. So offerings onto Shiv Shankar Bhagwan Lingam at 9 p.m. And then we'll continue 12, 3, and final offering at 6 So we're going to do Jagran, we're going to wake the whole night, right? Forgo sleep, no tamagun, from Saturday to Sunday, right? So devotees, please, who can join with us in person, feel free to come. If you want to stay part of the time, you want to stay all the time, you're most welcome to be with us on that auspicious night of Shiva, of Lord Shiva. So devotees, once more, God's choices, grace and blessings. Remember that your calendar is open. So if you'd like a Sunday morning service or to participate in any of our other services, Navratri is coming up. Also, our Ramayana Yagya, our Ganesh Utsav Yagya also is coming up. So if any one of you would like to participate, please, let us know, and we'll let you know if the dates are available, and you can participate with us in this way. So once more, God's choices, grace and blessings to all until Thursday evening. Jai Jai Sitaram.